folks. We're gonna do some game design today using the Dungeons and Dragons 5th Edition 2024 mechanics, plus Magic the Gathering's color mana system that we've previously published on DMsGuild for the 2014 rules. But all of the characters have changed, and we've used these mechanics in various campaigns from level 1 to 20 over the past 7 years. So it's time to update the system. And there's a new Unearthed Arcana that came out a couple weeks ago, utilizing some of the subclasses for Forgotten Realms. I want to go through and explore converting those to the mana system that we have, just so that they're available for playtesting in the mana system for my playtesting teams. So give me a second here. I'm going to check to see if we're up and running. I'm going to grab the tag here real quick and do some social media posting, and then we'll get to work here real quick for about an hour or so this morning, and then we'll be back tomorrow. And we stream 9 times per week, so if you think this stuff is cool, stick around and we'll do more stuff. So hold on real fast. I'm just doing the social media posts real quick. Let's see. Hold on. I'm having some connectivity issues here real fast. Blip, blop. Blip, blop. There we go. All right, it only takes a moment. I'm almost done. So I'll just regale you with my origin story to keep you distracted while I press buttons. I've been a DM since 1987. I've been a Magic the Gathering enthusiast since 1994. I've been a freelance illustrator since 1999, and I've been again creating content on the DMsGuild since 2018. Once they released the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, as well as the Strixhaven and Theros settings for D&D, it was pretty evident that they were taking the idea of those worlds from Magic the Gathering and translating them into the Vancian spell slot system and 8 schools of magic, which is very different from the 5 color mana system. But I've been playing with spell point systems for decades, since basically since first edition with the Psionicist that published in first edition, and then we had actual Psionicist class, like a formalized class in second edition with Dark Sun, and then we had the Psionicist, and then later Martial Powers in third edition, and fourth edition was its own creature. And then in the 5th edition, they attempted spell points again and didn't do it right. We've now spent a number of decades playing with spell point systems inside the 5e game engine. So I'm pretty confident about the build there. So we were able to create a color mana system for the 5e game engine, which is the color mana spell point variant rules that we have published on the DMsGuild. So I'm going to wrap up my intro here and just say, if you think this stuff is cool, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. Here's a bunch of books I've already created on the DMsGuild, including the color mana system here. You click on that, and it'll take you to a stack of books that I've already created. These all have free previews, so you can click into any of these, like here's the revised color mana spell list, and you can click on the full-size preview, and it'll pop open the full document. You can see here, like what the 5 colors are, some general terms and game mechanic stuff that kind of defines what each color is. Then we're looking at the types of damage that you can deal, and white, blue, black, red, green, how they're generally categorized. So between the different aspects of magic, like white and green, for instance, are both healing, while like black is like, say, soul and darkness, versus white, which is like divinity and light, while green is like nature and spirits. So between green, black, and white, you have spirits, divinity, and the soul. Like you can see, like resurrection magic being white, black, and like reincarnation being green, revivification being white and black. So there's a lot of ways to be able to manipulate the color pool, like white energy being, say, radiant, black energy being necrotic, poison being black, but as well as green, acid being black and green. All these things are corresponding with cards from the Magic the Gathering set, And these are just general vibes that go along with each color defined by the color pie, or the 5 colors of Magic the Gathering, translated into the 5e game engine. So if you take the colors, if you take the damage types and the aspects of Magic, you come up with the color mana spell list. Like, for example, Unseen Servant is a bluish spell. Tensor's Disc, blue spell. Speak with Animals, green spell. Scroll down to something that's maybe super obvious. Heat Metal, red, fire. Flaming Sphere, red, fire. Flame Blade, red, fire. Fine Steed, green spell. So these different colors, you kind of combine the different aspects of Magic and the type of damage that they deal, and you come up with the color matrix. So if you're going to cast a 2nd level spell, you'd use 2 points of mana. Like for Flame Blade, 1 point would need to be red, and then the other point could be whatever you want. So you can build your color pool around the theme of your character. Like a Dimir character, for instance, which is blue and black energy, would lean towards spells that are naturally like blindness and deafness. That makes a lot of sense for Dimir. Blur makes a lot of sense for Dimir. Like this Blur is both blue and green. So a Dimir blue-black could use a point of blue and then another point of whatever you want. Well, hey, Matthew, what's going on, my guy? I would add MTG mana has black as Necromancy and Sacrifice and Undead. Absolutely. So Necromancy, let's go look at Animate Dead, black spell. How about that? And then, Necromancy in general is going to be a black effect. So, like, Toll the Dead, for example, is a cantrip. You don't actually spend any mana to cast, or is Toll the Dead, is that, maybe that's a first level. Oh, this is just, this list here is just what's in the player's handbook from 2014. There's actually, if you download the books, it has the expanded all the spells from all the books from 2014. This sample here, this free sample, is just the spells from the player's handbook. So that's why Toll the Dead is in here. But like Toll the Dead would be a good example of another black spell. Let's look at anyway, you guys get the point. So that's how the color matrix works. So when you're building your character and you have a mana pool, if you want to have a strict Magic system, you could force each point of mana to be defined as one color. So my Dimir character, if you have like 20 points of mana, I could have like 7 points of blue and 13 points of black. So when I run out of blue magic, I can't cast blue spells until I get blue mana back into my mana pool. And every time you take a short or a long rest, regardless of how much mana you have left, whatever points are in your pool, you can change the color of them to be whatever you want. Like in a Dominaria campaign where characters could cast all 5 colors, then it's just down to how many spells do I have in white versus blue, black, red, green, and how do I want to cater my mana pool to be able to cast the spells that I want when I need them. In a restricted campaign like Ravnica, where every character is represented by 2 colors, like Dimir, for instance, blue and black, then the only colors I'd be operating with are blue and black. So if I want to get something like Scorching Ray onto my spell list, I don't have any red mana as a Dimir character. So what I can do is I could either spend downtime at my guild to research Scorching Ray to become blue or black, or out in the field, I could prepare Scorching Ray, and then I could prepare it again to be the color that I want it to be. So I could learn it, Scorching Ray is red, but then out in the field, I could prepare it a second time to bend the color to be what I want it to be, either blue or black for the instance of Dimir. But a Dimir character might not be interested in having Scorching Ray. It's just that's something that you can do to make sure that the character that you want has access to the spells that you want while still complying with the rigidity of the color mana system. If you have a softer Magic, more narrative focused, then you just have a pool of 20 points and you just say, my character is Dimir, I use blue and black magic, so you would then pick spells that are blue and black. And again, if I want to make a red spell blue or black, I'll learn it twice or spend downtime to research it, so it's always going to be blue or black. And then whatever points of mana I spend, I just describe them as either blue or black. And then you can go super loose. The 5e default is you're Dimir, you describe yourself as blue and black, cast any spell you want on the list, and ignore their color, the preset color devotion of a spell to a specific color of magic. And since you're a Dimir character, you've got your 20 points. I cast Scorching Ray. I'm just going to describe it as either being a blue or a black spell because I cast magic as a Dimir character with blue and black energy. So you have those 3 different gears of strictness that you can apply to your campaign. So it allows for the same mechanical flexibility that we expect from the 5e Player's Handbook, but at the same time, you can add these layers that help define the flavor of your character, like where color would actually have a consequence in the game. And that's something that you would do in your session 0 to decide how strict of a magic system you're planning on incorporating into your game. And the main project that we're running here in the Martial Powers project is to convert all 14 classes, including the Scion, into the same mana system. So no matter what class you choose, you can always be represented by the colors of your guild or your college in Strixhaven. Or if, like, Theros is interesting because you don't have a specific devotion specifically, but you gain piety with a god, and each god has specific colors. So as your piety rises with your god, with your favorability with a god, you're just naturally bending more towards that color. So the more color that you have that's devoted to the god that you have piety with, the more spells you'll be able to get that are just automatically going to be a color that you can utilize. So there's a lot of fun ways to be able to bend and curve your campaign to use a color mana system as more than just a narrative element, but to have actual mechanical consequences on how you build your character, if that's a gear that you enjoy having. So we're gonna convert the Forgotten Realms subclasses. Chrome extension apparently isn't working properly, but if we click here, there we go. It pops open the playtest document from Wizards of the Coast, and then here is the playtest document that we are using. It's read-only for everybody except for me. I've got editing access, but let's pause and then reload. There you go. So this it's like 200 pages. It's got all the classes. It's got all the subclasses, both from 2024 and all the neglected ones, the Forsaken subclasses from 2014. We've updated all of them for 24, along with the color mana system. At the front end of the document is how the martial power system works, which is used by barbarians, fighters, monks, rogues, as well as paladins, rangers, artificers, and warlocks, to have a different set of mechanics to use with a mana system than what the full casters do. So, and it has its own 190 some odd powers, like from the martial power, like the Book of Nine Swords in 3rd edition. Martial power system, that was a mana system for martial characters to do, combat and largely combat and exploration challenge type stuff, like ability checks and stuff like that, to use your mana pool to ramp the results of damage, attacking, skill checks that you can perform. So we have 124 powers that expend mana from your mana pool, and there's like 60 some odd, maybe 70 cantrip type effects that don't require mana, but 67 of them. But so you prepare both meta powers and disciplines to kit out your character as a martial to spend your mana and create your own action loops. You can sacrifice action economy to generate mana during your turn, kind of like tapping mana dorks. In Magic the Gathering, you give up action economy from your character. Like, I give up my bonus action to get 2 points of mana that I could then use a magic action to do a maneuver or a triggered effect, for example. So a lot of, and we spent, I want to say like 200 episodes at this point running through these different systems. And we've gotten through everything. We still need to update for 2024 the backgrounds for Ravnica, Strixhaven, and the piety system for Theros to be completely compliant with those books, which is on our docket to do. But today specifically, I wanted to dive into the Forgotten Realms. There's some, get out of here. There's some subclass. Some of these subclasses we've updated already. Some of them I don't think we have. So I just want to go through and make sure everything that's supposed to be current is current. So that's our current endeavor. And again, you can click on the playtest the UA here and the full playtest document that we're working on here if you want to read along. All these go from level 1 to 20. We've been using the color mana system, the base model that I showed on DMsGuild. I've ran 2 campaigns from level 1 to 20 using that, as well as various other campaigns, and we're currently running playtests using martial powers and the 2024 mechanics in the color mana system. We've done a few playtests, 16 to 20. Also, Let's see. We did a campaign from 4, 5, and 5, 6, and 7th level, and right now we're running a mega dungeon from level 3 to 10, and we just hit 7th levels there. And we've done a lot of revisions that we've spent the past month here on stream updating the revisions that we found through playtesting to make these things work well. It's becoming a pretty efficient machine at this point, and it's looking like most of the stuff that we have in here is valid. I got a blemish on my cheek, apparently. Huh. All right, well, we'll deal with that. Let's see. Where are we at? Oh, yeah, I'm going to extract this document as our working doc. I'm going to extract our YouTube window separately so it doesn't get in the way. And let me drop this down here to not be in the way, like that. And then we have the UA document. So going from the UA document, I don't think we have College of the Moon in here yet. So let's scroll down to the Bard, which is going to be, I think around 103, 104 if you're playing along at home. Rogue, that's where we're at. So let's scroll past the Rogue. Artificer. It's not necessarily in alphabetical order. I did the martial powers first, and then I did the Artificer and the Warlock after the martial classes and half-casters, and then I did the full casters after all of that. So it's a little out of order, but you can use Control F to go find what you're looking for if you need. So here's the chassis that we built and had to rebuild using the mana on a long rest, as well as the class features. A lot of them have been changed because of how mana works compared to spellcasting. Like, you don't need... Like, in 5th edition 24, they gave a bunch of casters a bunch of free spells to cast because Wizards recognizes spellcasting as slotted spells doesn't give you enough spells to cast per day to really tempo with what you want to do as a character. So they started granting you a bunch of free spells as a way to give you more resources, but to also have a narrative around, like your Find Steed. You can cast Find Steed as a paladin free once per day because paladins are supposed to have horses apparently. So they give you that Find Steed spell and you can cast it for free as a representation of this is an integral part of your character. But when you're using the hold on. Okay. I had to check something real quick. I thought I disconnected my microphone, but it looks like we're still okay. Back on task. So we don't need additional free spells because we have a mana pool. You can spend 1 point on a first level spell. You can spend 2 points on a second level spell. And we've got 50 points of mana. That's a lot of spells. So you don't need free spells. You can reduce the cost of spells, but you don't need them to be free. So a lot of the things that are in the game, we've modified to take into account the abundance of the mana point resource that your character just naturally has. It's actually less spell levels than what the Vancian spell slot system does. If you were to, because like a wizard at 80 at 20th level has 80 spells, has 80 mana, versus a wizard in the player's handbook has a bunch of spells that if you add up all the individual spell levels is actually 89 spell levels, as opposed to the 80 spell levels you get from the mana pool. The difference is the flexibility of what level spells you want to cast. You can cast a shitload of first level spells. You can cast a bunch of 5th level spells. We still have restrictions in place of casting 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th level spells, restricting how many you can cast per day, up to 5 per day, similar to the player's handbook. But that's just managing power resources. Lower levels is not a big problem. Anyway, having said that, we're going to I'm going to skip past all the specific features of the Bard, because we're going to go down into the College of the Moon, and we're going to get down to the Forsakens, Forsaken subclasses, College Creation, and we're just going to drop the Moon in here. College of Eloquence, College of Sword, College of Whispers, and that would be it. So we're going to let's put the College of the Moon here after College of Eloquence. I'm just going to copy the entire College of Eloquence. And we're going to call it the College of Moon. I don't think I've looked at this literally at all. College of Moon spells. to the moon spells table. There always have a list of spells. Eloquent spells that are now moon spells. And I don't know what this feature is going to be. So I'm going to get rid of that. I don't know what this feature is, so I'm going to blip that. Get rid of this. I'm doing some cleanup here real quick with you guys. And then we'll dive into the actual UA once I clear all of these options so we can rebuild it from scratch. Blip, and then nerp, there. Okay, cool. So let's see, what does the College of the Moon do? Moon Folktales, Primal Lorists, Blessings of the Moonwells, Bolstering Folktales. I'm gonna pull open the D&D Beyond, and we're gonna go look at classes, and we're gonna look at the Bard real quick. Just make sure I haven't missed something here. Hold on. Mantle, college. Okay, so I don't know. I honestly don't know why. Bard doesn't get, like, some sorcerers get bonus spells, all wizards get bonus spells, all clerics get bonus spells, all druids get bonus spells. Bards don't get bonus spells. I don't see what's so hot about being able to pick from another spell list after 10th level that would explain why up until 10th level you can't get bonus spells. So I actively, in this system, I've actively given every single subclass 10 spells or powers, depending if you're a spellcaster or a martial. Like, some rangers get 10 spells, some don't get any spells, some get 5 spells, but there's no real difference in power level between those different subclasses that would determine why you would or wouldn't get bonus anything. So to standardize the system, everyone's going to get 23 prepared options from level 1 to 20, and everyone's going to get 10 bonus things from their subclass. So everything remains even keel throughout the entire system, with everyone at 33 bonus, or 33 spells, powers, options, whatever, from level 1 to 20. So that is going to mean we have the opportunity to build a list of spells for the moon, since it doesn't seem to be included in the UA. And if you disagree with me on that, you can just not give them bonus spells. Everything in here is a variant rule, so you can pick and choose what you want. I'm just creating a holistic package that makes everything self-consistent with itself, and so that the whole purpose of the system, of the martial powers system, was to give martial characters the same breadth of options and decision making, level by level, long rest by long rest, that their full spell casting counterparts have. And the mana system just happens to be an excellent narrative for character building, using the color pie philosophy system to develop what your character's identity is, and then use those colors of identity to shape your mana pool to dictate what colors, what kind of spells you would cast, or for the case of martials, how you express the powers that you can channel during combat or in exploration. And so that's the guiding principle. Give everyone 10 bonus things, and so that you have that consistency in design throughout all of them. So, having said that, let's get back into it. Blip. College of the Moon, Inspire, blah, blah, blah. Traces origins, moon, blah, blah, blah. Moonshade Folktales. As a magic action, you can invoke Holy Hannah. Okay, right out the gate, lots of stuff. So I'm going to, let's see. We're going to grab Moonshade Folktales. We'll build the magic list after we finish the subclass features. So Moonfolk. Nope, that's not it. Moonshade Folktales. Right, Moonshade Folktales. We'll rebuild the subclasses to utilize the mana system, and then once all those features are completed, we'll see what spells make sense. Like, if we find that a certain type of spell is being triggered by these Moonshade Folktales, obviously we're going to want to add that spell to your prepared spells. I'm going to open up a notepad, and I'm going to cutsy pasty. Copy, and then paste in place. Cut, paste in place. As a magic action, you can invoke the power of a folktale, imbuing yourself with primal magic until you use this feature again. When you use this feature, choose which of the following folktales you invoke. Your choice gives you certain benefits from while this magic is active. Cool. So, Tale of Life. Tale of Gloam. Tale of Mirth. Copyright 2025. Roll the 1 bardic inspiration die and subtract the number of rolls and saves total possible. Okay, great. So those are the 3 gears that we have: Tale of Life, Tale of Gloam, Tale of Mirth. Let's see what they do, and let's see how we rebuild it. So, as a magic action, you can invoke the power of a folktale, imbuing yourself with the primal magic until you use this feature again. When you use this feature, choose which of the following folktale you invoke. Your choice gives you certain benefits while the magic is active. Tale of Life. You invoke a tale of vitality and thriving earth. When you restore hit points to a creature with a spell, you can expend a bardic inspiration die and increase the amount of hit points restored by a number equal to the roll of the bardic inspiration die. You can do this only once per turn. I'm fine with that. I don't have any reason to change that. Tale of Gloam. You invoke a tale of mystery and secrets. When you use a bonus action to give a creature a bardic inspiration die, you can take the disengage action or hide action as part of the bonus action. I don't have a problem with that either. You invoke a tale of merriment and fey guile. When an enemy you can see within 60 feet of yourself succeeds on a saving throw, you can take a reaction to expend a bardic inspiration die. The creature must roll the bardic inspiration die and subtract the number rolled from the save's total, possibly causing the save to fail. Those are good features. That doesn't interrupt anything that's going on with the mana system at all. So, game on. I'm going to grab this here and go to the front of the Bard so we can look at Bard features as necessary. If needed, but that did not need it. Primal Lorist. So far, this isn't interacting. This isn't changing anything. You already get Bardic Inspiration dice, and we keep those in the mana system. You learn Druidic. You learn Druidic and 1 cantrip from the Druid spell list, and it counts as a Bard spell for you, but doesn't count against the number of cantrips you know. Additionally, choose one of the following skills. You have okay, great. So I don't see anything wrong with that either so far. I think this is going to probably mess with magical secrets a little bit, but we'll see. You learn Druidic and 1 cantrip from the Druid spell list. It counts as a Bard spell for you, but doesn't count against the number of cantrips you know. Additionally, you learn Druidic and 1 cantrip from the Druid spell list. Thank you. Additionally, choose one of the following skills. Blah, 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 blah. You have proficiency in that skill. Okay. No problems yet. Blessings of the Moonwells. We'll see how this goes. Blessings of the Moonwells. You always have the Moonbeam spell prepared. So we would then thus add Moonbeam to the list of spells that we have and then modify it. So let's go here. And I think Moonbeam 2nd level. Moonbeam. Second level, 1 minute. Silver beam of pale light shines. It does 5-foot radius, 40 feet high, 7 within 60 feet. Appears creature constitution saving throw failed takes damage, and the creature is shapeshifted. If the creature is shapeshifted, like polymorph spell, it reverses its true form. It can't shapeshift until it leaves a cinder. On successful save, only takes half damage. The creature can make this save. again and increase the damage. Okay, great. So, so this is the first example of spell modifications. So we're going to go down here to the second line and go Moonbeam. We automatically get Moonbeam at 3rd level as one of our bonus spells now. Makes sense. Let's go back and see what it does, though. So, you always have Moonbeam spell prepared. As a bonus action, here we go. This is going to be what's relevant. And we're probably going to see a mana trick that goes along with this. Copy that. There. So as a bonus action, you can cast Moonbeam without expending a spell slot. So that's not necessary because we have shitloads of mana already. When you cast it, as a bonus action, we can cast Moonbeam as a bonus action already anyway, can't we? No, it's a casting time. As a bonus action, you can cast Moonbeam without expending a spell slot. When you cast this spell, this feature, you glow faintly while you maintain concentration on the spell. While glowing, you shed dim light out to 5 feet, and whenever a creature fails its saving throw against the effect of the Moonbeam, another creature of your choice that you can see within 60 feet of you regain 2d4 hit points. And obviously, if I have Tail of Life active, then you'll get hit points back. Additional hit points. The invoke when you you can expend a bardic inspiration die and increase the amount of healing. There you go. So I could use Tail of Life with Blessings of Moonwells by expending a bardic inspiration die to ramp it to 2d4 plus. At this level, it would be like what? 2d4 plus a d8. Yeah. Which ironically, not ironically, but worth noting, the amount of healing that you do with like a basic cure wounds is 2d8 plus your casting stat. So Blessings of the Moonwells gives you the 2d4 hit points, and if you use the bardic inspiration die, that's going to give you another d8 at level 6. So that would end up being effectively 2d8 hit points. I just think that's interesting. It's good. It's good math. They're mathing good. And whenever Moonbeam and a creature gets healing, once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. You can also restore its use by expending 3 mana. No action required. So as a bonus action, you can cast... okay, there we go. So as a bonus action, you can cast... Moonbeam. You can cast damn it. You can cast Moonbeam as a bonus action. If you do, you glow faintly while you maintain concentration on the spell. While glowing, you shed dim light out to 5 feet, and whenever a creature fails its saving throw against the effects of the Moonbeam, another creature of your choice that you can see within 60 feet of you regains 2d4 hit points. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. You can also restore your use of it by expending 3 mana. No action required. 3 mana, level 6. Yeah, that feels about right. Level 6, you have access to 3rd level spells. This is a 2nd level spell that you're casting as a bonus action, and it gives you a 2d4 hit point kicker, which is worth 1 point. It's almost worth 1 point of mana. So between the bonus action and the 1 point of mana, you can cast. You can't use it again. You can also restore your use of it by expending 3. That's too expensive. We're going to knock it down to 2. Typically at this level, features cost 2 mana to regain uses of it, but you also have to spend 2 points of mana just to cast the spell in the first place. So it's too expensive for the amount of economy that's giving you. So we're going to reduce the cost down to 2 mana. And then we're going to go to 14. Hey, thanks a lot. Keeping track. Bolstered Full Tails. There we go. This guy's cool. This is kind of a neat class. I like how they're able to manipulate action economy and resources of your character in 5e24. They're a lot looser with that. It's a lot more fun to design with, quite honestly. Bolstered Full Tails. This is going to buff your 3rd level ability, I'm sure. Bolstered Full Tails. Yeah, the power of your Moonshade thing improves when you use your Tail of Life or Tail of Mirth. You can roll 1d6 and use the number rolled in place of expending. Ooh. The power of your Folktail improves when you use your Tail of Life or Mirth. You can roll 1d6 and use the number rolled in place of expending a Bardic Inspiration die. When you use your Tail of Gloam, you can also teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see as part of that bonus of the bonus action. Got it. Okay, so this is just giving us a base default instead of using at 14th level we're rolling a D10. So this is allowing us to use a D6 instead of a D10. The power of Moonshade Folks improves when you use your Tail of Life, Tail of Mirth. You can roll 1d6 and use the number rolled. When you use your Tail of Life or Tail of Mirth, you can roll 1d6 and use the number rolled in place. So this is always allowing you to use this at your minimum Bardic Inspiration die size. Or 30 feet of an occupied space as part of the bonus action. Okay. I don't have any problem. I honestly don't have a problem with that. 2, 3. However, there are some things that are being fed to us that this class is capable of doing that we should take into account. Like, for example, that teleport effect tells us that Misty Step should be one of the bonus spells that you get. There's also the, what are we looking at? We're looking at restoring hit points, which kind of implies aid. And we're looking at invoke a Tale of Mystery and Secrets, bonus action, creature, Bardic Inspiration die, movement, Fagile, Bardic Inspiration, creature can move. Gloam is disengage or hide action. So that tells us that probably like some sort of visibility spell should be in here. Let's grab our 2024 magic list. I don't have this published yet on the DMsGuild, but we do have it converted. So here's our list of spells. Let's go fishing. We're looking for 1st level spells that fit the vibe. Let's see. What we got? Bane is, I think, probably going to be a decent pick. Let's remind ourselves, what does Bane do? Up to 3 creatures of your choice you can see within range must make a charisma saving throw. When they fail, or they make a saving throw or an attack roll before the spell ends, the target must subtract D4 from the attack. And see, that feels like Tale of Mirth. So let's check that out again. Tale of Mirth. You invoke Tale of Merriment and the Fagile. When an enemy you can see within 60 feet of you yourself succeeds a saving throw, you can use a reaction to expend a Bardic Inspiration die. And then roll the die, subtract the number from the saves total. So Bane makes perfect sense here. Bane. And then, what is the Tale of Life? It gives you hit points. Hit points. Let's see. Is there something that grants us temporary hit points inside here? Don't think so. Command, compel duel, comprehend, cure. Well, I mean, cure wounds. Sure. We could go with that. It's not a bad choice. False life. I think that just gives us hit points, right? Let's double check. Yeah, temporary hit points. So false life is a good one too. Bane, false life, And now we'll go to third level spells. Let's find what's a good third. Ooh, Hex ain't bad. No, that's just that's ability checks, not saving throws. Spell, third level spell. Lesser Restoration, Levitate, Locate, Magic Mouth, Magic Weapon, Mind Spike, Misty. That's second level. Third level is what we want. Thank you. Aura Vitality, that's not bad. Bestow Curse is pretty good. Where are we getting that third? Third, Primal Lorist, fine. Blessings of the Moonwells, Glowing Dim Light. So, Moonbeam spell. Bolstered Folktales. So this is Folktales speaking. Let's see. Glyph of Warding isn't a horrible idea. On the stone, protection, remove, curse, revivify, plant growth, non-detection. Non-detection isn't so bad for gloaming. Sending, speak with the dead, speak with plant, spirit guardian, summon fae, vampiric water breathing, wind wall, tongues. I think non-detection makes sense for what the gloaming does, so we're gonna lock that one in. Spirit guardian, summon fae. I think summon fae makes sense just because of the druidic influence, so we're going to go with that. Summon fae. And that 7th level, 4th level spells. Confusion, Conjure, Death, Control, Divine, Avard, Fabricate, Font of Moonlight. I mean, obvious, but we're going to take obvious because they're giving it to us. Secret Chest, Faithful, Mordekainen, Atulix, Phantasmal Killer. Let's see, what's our 14th? Bolstered Folktale, the power of the Moonshade Folktale. You can death, gives you free use, and you get the Misty Step, so we got that accounted for. Let's see. Guardian, Insect, Fount of Moonlight, sure. Evards, Divination, Dim Door, Death Ward, Conjure, Confusion, Control, Divine, Dominate, Evard, Fabricate. What makes sense? Let's look up Death Ward real quick. This might be the answer. This creature granted a measure of protection from death. First time target would drop to 0 hit points. Instead drops 1. Yeah, Death Ward. That's a good one. I'm into it. Fount of Moonlight. Death Ward. And then 5th level spells. What you got? Awaken, Bigby, Circle, Cloud Kill, Commune, Conjure, Cold, Contact, Contagion, Create, Dispel, Dominate, Dream, maybe Dream, Greater Restoration, Hallow, Hold, Jalaxal Storm, Legend Lore. I think makes a lot of sense. Pass out, Bond, Scrying, Seeming. Yeah, Synergy Static, Teleport, Wall, Yolanda's Regal Presence. Moonlight, huh? Moonshay, Moonshay. Let's see, what's a good one here? Gesh. Nah. Too much control there. I'm not into it. Contagion, Conjure, Control, Cone, Commune, Big B, Banishing, Awaken, Anti-Life, Animate Objects. None of those make sense. Circle of Power, no. Cloud Kill, no. Communes, no. Conjure, no. Conjure, no. Creation, no. Dispel, Good, Evil, no. Dominate, Dream. Flame Strike. Hallow. Mislead. Mislead could work. Hold on. Let's see how this one shakes out. See if that's the right stuff. You gain the invisible condition at the same time as an illusionary bow. Yeah, that actually works with gloaming really well. So mislead. Cool, I'm good with that. That's a neat little kit of spells. So that completes the Druid of, the College of the Moon. Let's go down into Cleric Knowledge Domain. I'm going to go here and scroll down to Cleric top of the list. And then we're going to go here and go down to Cleric Subclasses. Light. What do we got? Hold on. Life, Light, Trickery, and War as the graduated subclasses. And then we have Arcane, Death, Forge, Grave, Knowledge. We may have already converted this. Let's double check. Maybe I'd done this and I don't remember doing it. Command, comprehend languages. Detect thought, identify minds. Jesus, you get a lot of spells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Am I crazy or is that a truckload of spells? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gee, there's just no rhyme or reason. I'm guessing because it's knowledge. Dispel, non-detect, and tongues. Arcane Eye, banish confusion. Legend lore. Maybe I did this one already. Well, this is a chance for us to look at it again. Wait. Nope. Hold on. Unfettered mind. Divine foreknowledge. Blessings of knowledge. You gain any 2 mind magic. As a magic action, you can expend 1 use of your channel divinity to manifest your magical knowledge. Choose 1 spell from the knowledge domain table that you have prepared. 1 spell from the knowledge domain spells table that you have prepared. Oh, meaning that you can actually cast. As part of that action, you cast. As a magic action, you can expend 1 use of your channel divinity to manifest your magical knowledge. Choose 1 of the spells from the domain list above that you have prepared. As part of that action, you cast that spell without expending a spell slot or needing material components. You gain proficiency in 2 artisan tools. In addition, when you cast a spell in domain spell list, you can expend a use of channel divinity to cast that spell as a magic action without any material components. In addition, when you cast a spell on your domain spell list, you can expend a use of channel divinity to cast the spell as a magic action without any. Okay, that's really useful. And then proficiency in the artisan tools. Knowledge. No, we don't need the artisan tools. And this is called mind magic. You can get a use of your going up here and looking at the cleric channel divinity. You can use this feature twice. You regain 1 of the expended uses when you finish a short rest, and you can regain 1 use by expending 2 points of mana. no action required. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. You regain additional uses when you gain certain levels, bloody blah. So you can spend 2 mana on the fly as part of another action to be able to get Channel Divinity back that you then spend. So basically for 2 mana, you can trigger Mind Magic. So it's expensive at 3rd level. Sure, you're not going to use it a lot. You're going to probably lean into your Channel Divinity and leave it be. But once you get the 5th, 7th, 12th level, popping 2 mana to get another use of Channel Divinity is a good deal, and it's something you're going to be able to lean into. You can expend. So basically all these things you can just do without having to have material components, and you can do it as an action, which like scrying and legend lore, those are both rituals. They take at least 10 minutes to do. So that's actually really good for the 2 mana. That's really good value. I like that. I really like that feature. Let's look at Unfettered Mind at 6. Gain telepathy 60 feet. You can simultaneously contact a number of creatures equal to your wisdom modifier. Additionally, if the result of an intelligence check, if your total for an intelligence check is lower than your wisdom score. I'm guessing that I already touched this before, but anyway, we're just going to go through it. Divine Foreknowledge as a bonus action. Expend your awareness for 1 hour. Advantage on the D20 test. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Or you can also restore your use of this by expending a level 6+ level slot. And we just generally make things at 17th level. Basically, if it's above 13th level, it's 5 mana. 6th level spell slot, sure. Divine Foreknowledge it's basically Foresight, which is a 9th level spell that lasts basically all day. For a 9th level spell slot, this is giving it to you for free. And then 5 mana. Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay, cool. So that guy's good. Let's go to the fighter and look at our purple knight fighter. Go all the way up here to mana effects, and then kick down to fighter, in case we need to reference it. There we go. And then here we're going to go up to fighter. Purple Knight has a power. That's Berserker. There we go. Fighter subclass. Archetypes of power. Battlemaster. Champion. Eldritch Knight. Psy Warrior. And then the Forsakens. Arcane Archer. Banneret. Here it is. Royal Envoy. Let's check it out. I don't like the flavor on this at all, but it is what it is. Knightly Envoy. You learn 1 language of your choice. Gain skill feat. Gaining Persuasion as a skill. You have expertise. Plus, you can choose 2 additional skills from handling, insight, intimidation, performance. In addition, when using one of those chosen skills, you can roll a power die, adding the result to a d20 test. You can cast Comprehend Languages spell, but only as a ritual. Intelligence is your spellcasting ability. You learn 1 language of your choice, which you can choose from the language table. Let's do it like you gain the skill feat, gaining Persuasion as a skill. You have expertise in. Plus, you can choose 2 additional skills. Performance, or you can choose any language. Okay, so let's look at Purple Dragon Companion. Barf. I can see why I wasn't anxious to convert this one, because I don't think it's very cool. Purple Knight, Bonded Dragon, Companion, Dragon Combat. In combat, the dragon acts during your turn. It can move and use. We're gonna go with Banneret. I feel like my gut's telling me this one's going to get rejected and it's going to get reworked into something else. I am choosing to leave this with the not. I'm going to specifically put a note here. I am actively rebelling against the Unearthed Arcana version, and I refuse to utilize it unless they actually lock it into a book. For now, for Meow, for now, this is remaining the original. This is remaining. For now, this is remaining as inspired. This is ignoring the UA dragon mount concept. Because the flavor is so different from the origin of Purple Knights, there's a chance it's going to get completely rebuilt. Will update if published officially with a dragon companion. Otherwise, the below modifications reflect what is in the SGAG. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave this be for now until I see some sort of convincing evidence that it should change otherwise. So that's a skip. How long have I been at this? Almost there. Stay on target. So let's take a look at what is next. Purple Knight. Yeah, not a fan of that Purple Knight. Oath of the Noble Genies, Paladin. So let's scroll down to the Paladin. I've just about hit my 1 hour mark for my lunchtime. So that is going to cause me to... Here we are in the Paladin. We're looking at the Oath of the Noble Genies. Oath of Glory. Oath of the Ancients. Oath of Vengeance. Oath of Conquest. Redemption. Crown. Watchers. Oathbreaker. And the end. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut stream. It's my lunch. Lunchtime is over. When we come back, we'll be back Thursday night to continue this, and then we'll get through the Oath, the Sorcerer, the rest of the subclasses. So that's it for now, guys. I'm going to bail. I'll see you guys on the other side. Thanks a lot for checking this stuff out. If this stuff is interesting to you, I do game design like this 4 nights a week. I've got a ton of books down below. Check out the MTG books that I have published. Drop me a line on my Discord, free access to join if you wish. And I'll see you guys. I'll be back doing Eberron artwork tomorrow morning if you want to tag in for some art for a couple hours. So see you guys on the other side. Thanks a lot for being here. Cheers.